Hello and welcome to the New York Sports Show. I'm your host, Dominic Konowski. We have a very special guest on today. We have Matt Antonelli on. Hello and welcome to the New York Sports Show.
How you doing? Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. It's an honor to have Matt Antonelli on. For those who don't know, he's a former MLB player. He was drafted 17th overall by the San Diego Padres in the 2006 MLB draft. What was that like?
Well, it was certainly an exciting day. It was something that I was working towards pretty much my whole life. When I was young, I always wanted to try to play. My goals were to either try to play in the MLB or the NHL. And so I worked pretty hard. I dedicated a lot of my time and went to college to play baseball. And then, so when you finally get the call that you got drafted, it's a pretty big thrill. And, when you get picked and you get drafted, there's still a long ways to go to actually make it to the major leagues, but you know that you're on the right path and a lot of the hard work is starting to pay off. So it's a great feeling.
Yeah, and you made all the way to the show. You had your MLB debut on September 1st, 2008. What was that like?
Yeah, so it's interesting because I got called up during probably my worst professional career, or worst year of my professional career. I was only hitting about, I think, 220 or 230 in AAA, and had really struggled for a lot of the year. So it was a little unexpected. But nevertheless, and I still obviously, you get to that day, and like I said, just with the draft, you put a lot of time in to get there. And so I felt very fortunate to be able to make my debut, and got lucky enough. I ended up getting my first at bat, my first hit off of Greg Maddox, which was obviously a thrill. And my favorite two players probably of all time were Manny Ramirez and Nomar Garciaparra, and both of them were playing on the Dodgers the day that I made my debut. So it was a pretty cool experience to be able to not only make my debut but play against some of my childhood idols.
Yeah, that is really cool. A lot of people, they spend years in the minors and they don't get caught up, and you did. What do you have to say to anyone who's watching this video who's currently in the minor leagues right now?
Yeah, well, the minor leagues is definitely, I think a lot of people don't realize what goes into a minor league season, and it isn't as glamorous as I think a lot of people think. It takes a lot of work. You're on the road a lot. You're away from family. Your body hurts. You're not, you don't get paid really anything. It's probably much lower than any minimum wage job. And so it can be tough, especially for players if you don't have a big signing bonus. I mean, a lot of players are I've seen players that have to walk away from playing because they don't feel like they're making enough money to support themselves. So it is not an easy thing, and the chances of making it, the odds of making it, are pretty low. So I think for any player, you've just got to, with all that said, I've seen guys, like I said, I made it up during my worst season, and I've seen players that have grinded away for years and years and think they're never going to make it, and they finally do get that chance. And so I think the biggest thing is you got to keep going. You got to play as long as you can until basically make them take the uniform and rip it off your back, because you never know if you'll get that chance to finally get called up. You might not expect it, and it might happen.
Yeah. And you hit your first MLB home run on September 15th off of Colorado Rockies pitcher Jason Hirsch. What was that like, get that feeling, hitting a major league home run?
Sure. So that was my only home run at the major league level. I only hit one. And I can remember, I've hit a lot in my life. And I remember vividly my first ever home run in Little League, and I remember that home run in the Major League. Those are probably the two that stick out in my mind that I'll obviously never forget. So to be able to hit a Major League home run and be able to round the bases and at least say that I hit one, and that was quite exciting. I wish I had hit more and had more opportunities to hit some more, but I will take that one, and I'll remember it for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, some people, there have been some players who've been in the MLB for years and they couldn't hit a home run, and you did it 14 days into playing in the MLB, which is a great, congratulations on that. Now, when you were drafted by the Padres, they drafted you as a third baseman, but you ended up being a second baseman, and a very good second baseman. You were ranked #1 in all second basemen in the minors. What made you change from a third baseman to second baseman?
Sure, I think it was a couple of things. One, when I was drafted by the Padres and was in the minor leagues, we had a couple of really good third basemen that were all kind of together on the same team. So myself and David Freese, we were both together. We both played third base that first year with the Padres. We also had Chase Headley, who at the time was at third base also. And so we kind of had a log jam in the system. And so I think that was part of it, to move me over to second, so that, hopefully we could get more of those guys to the big leagues. But then also, I probably profiled a little bit better as a second baseman because, I had some power, but I wasn't probably ever going to be a big-time power hitter at the major league level. And I think they probably thought that my offensive game probably fit a little bit better for second base. I was more of I was a good athlete. I could run fast, and I could hit decently well, but probably was, I'd probably be, if I played a while in the major leagues, I would have probably been more like a 15 home run guy and not a 30 home run guy. And so second base probably just was a little bit better for me offensively as well.
Yeah, I did not know that was one of the reasons. Now, you're not playing baseball anymore, and you actually have your own YouTube channel, and Antonelli Baseball. Link will be in the description below for anyone who wants to check it out. And you have 124,000 subs. What was that like? Did you expect that when you first created the channel?
No, not at all. So I first created the channel probably about 10 years ago. I was still playing, actually. And it started off as I just kind of put random instructional videos up, trying to help kids, trying to teach them some of the lessons that I had learned from playing. And, it got a little bit of traction. I think I was probably at 5,000 to 10,000 subscribers for a really long time. And then 2 years ago, now I have my business, Antonelli Baseball, which, I coach. I coach youth baseball, coach high school baseball, work with a lot of players. And, it was about 2 years ago I said, maybe I should go a little bit more, full time into this YouTube thing. And so I said, I'm going to put up one video every day for the next year. And so I started doing that. And within a year, I probably went from 10,000 subscribers to, I don't know, probably 60 or 70,000. And the consistency, I think, really helped. I also started to add more videos kind of about my playing career and my experience in the minors and the major leagues, which I think a lot of people enjoyed. I never thought, now, like you said, 124,000 subscribers, and it's growing pretty quickly. I would never have anticipated that I would have this big of an audience. And I've been able to meet a lot of really cool people from all over the country and the world because of it. So it is exciting, and I really enjoy doing it. And so I'm hoping to continue throwing out the videos and growing the channel.
That is really, really cool. Now, you brought it up, you do coach. What was it like to coach, and do you ever think that you would do it in the MLB?
So I always knew I was going to coach. Even when I was playing, I knew that when I was done playing, I'd be a coach. I'm not very good at many things. Baseball is one thing that I've done my whole life, and I feel like I have a pretty good understanding of. And it's just a passion of mine. I'm very curious about it. I always want to continue to learn more. And so I knew I'd coach. And so once I got released, I got right into coaching. And I started off kind of at the college level and with my own program that I started. And that was kind of, I didn't know if I wanted to go college or go more youth baseball. And so I did both for a while, decided to just focus on Antonelli Baseball. But I have had a couple opportunities. I've gone on a few interviews for some professional coaching opportunities. And, the situation with me and my family, I have 2 young kids. I decided to not take either of those. But I learned a lot through the interview process. And I don't know, maybe down the road, maybe I will look at doing something like that. But for now, I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I'm able to be home more. I'm able to be with my family more. And so, I like where I'm at right now.
Yeah, that is really cool. Now, is there Is there anything else that you would like to say to the people watching this video?
No, I think, I enjoy talking with people, and I think that, I think the biggest thing with baseball is that, if you're a player, and you talked about it a little bit earlier, if you're a player, have fun, work your hardest. At first it's got to be fun. I know a lot of people, we work with a lot of players, and I see a lot of kids play, and you've got to be able to enjoy it. If you enjoy it, you'll get better. If you work hard, really put your mind to it. If it's something you really want to do and you want to play at a high level, then there's nothing wrong with saying you want to get there and working hard and just putting your head down and enjoying it. And that's kind of what I did. And other than that, I'm looking forward to the playoffs. I hope everyone listening is looking forward to it also. I'm up in Boston, so our Red Sox are not in it, unfortunately, this year. But I'm still excited to watch some really good baseball over the next month.
Yeah. Thank you once again for being on. Once again, folks, that is Matt Antonelli on. Thank you for joining us on the New York Sports Show.
Thank you.